Now, with South Africa expected to be removed from the UK red list, the South African Chamber of Commerce of the United Kingdom, SACC UK, finds it necessary to participate in international business ventures that will supplement the anticipated tourism influx and increase UK-SA travel stream that will be caused by the easing of travel requirements as it relates to COVID-19 travel regulations. We're now joined via Zoom by Sharon Constantin, who is the chairman of the South African Chamber of Commerce of the UK, to elaborate further the work that the organisation SACC UK does to enhance trade between the UK and South Africa. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Nati. I really appreciate the opportunity to join you.
Now, Sharon, as the South African Chamber of Commerce of the United Kingdom, one of your objectives is that of lobbying and, to a large extent, providing support to organizations with specific interests in South Africa and the United Kingdom business. What then was your role specifically in discussions around the UK's now infamous red list, I can call it, given the discrepancies around COVID-19 related matters in this country?
As we are a body that is focused on trade, naturally trade involves tourism as well as goods services as well. So we spend our time working with companies that want to do business between the two countries, or export their product, import the product, invest in the other country, move to the other country, whichever it may be. Now, you can only do that if you have the freedom of travel of goods, but equally the freedom of travel of people, because services involve that, as does tourism. South Africa is very reliant on tourism, and the relationship they have with the UK goes back centuries. And at the moment, there's a huge risk of actually damaging that relationship forever if the UK doesn't look at it in a realistic light, given the improvements South Africa has delivered, both on the vaccination side, but most importantly on the science side. There isn't any grounds anymore. So we are very hopeful that Thursday is going to give us the right answer. And there has been a lot of effort from many parties to provide the information and the encouragement to get the change.
Perhaps what I was trying to get at, Sharon, as well, is that we're told that information is streaming at a rapidly very slow pace, between the two countries, which resulted in the country being in the red list in the first place, because to the detriment of the tourism sector as a result. So what I'm getting at from my question is that your interests also lie within the two countries from a business perspective. Of course, there are health implications as well, to consider. What role specifically did you play in just, putting pressure on the UK, particularly because some of the reasoning behind South Africa being on the red list to begin with was very confusing. Even the ICD saying that in Africa, for starters, we were, the UK implied that South Africa was, suffering the beta variant, which of course is not true, because the major variant that is in the country is a Delta variant.
Our efforts and pressures were aimed at some of the Lords in the House of Lords that we know well and are supporters of South Africa, to a number of ministers, particularly those that are involved in the decision making on Thursday, and our efforts have gone through directly to the Prime Minister via Lord Peter Hain, so we have made direct contact with him. We have been working with the various tourism agencies and lobby bodies in South Africa, and a number of our chamber members and particularly directors have been writing in newspaper articles as well. So we have been social media, huge amount of work and effort in the social media space. We also had the London Marathon on Sunday, and we all, a group of five of us actually walked in green on 4 continents, fighting for the case for South Africa to turn green. So we've approached it at a number of angles, one right up to the Prime Minister, and we've worked in addition with the UK High Commission and with the South African High Commission, and supported efforts they've been making and complementing the work they've been doing as well.
Now, of course, tomorrow is a D-Day where discussions will happen. Hopefully, it will be good news, for South Africa.
We're hoping so.
But perhaps
we've
speak
made
to me,
the effort.
Yeah, but perhaps speak to me about, how UK SA-based businesses were affected by the red list, more especially, as you say, in the tourism sector. As you know, removing South Africa on the red list will definitely save South Africa's tourism sector, which relies heavily on the UK travel and tourism.
Yep. UK is a very large contributor towards the tourism industry, and I know there are many people that are either just about to cancel flights, which hopefully they're not going to do now, and many of those thinking, shall we book flights, which I hope many of them will do. So there's a 6-month window for economic improvement for South Africa directly from the tourism industry, and that will be in all the support industries to the tourism sector as well. On the business side, people are always been in the wait and see, let's wait and see, how can I determine if I can invest in this environment? So business will immediately pick up, and I think you will see the aeroplanes filling up with both business and tourists coming to South Africa very quickly. I think we will see that corridor becoming very busy, and the business side will equally then start to deliver jobs, profitability into companies. I mean, your previous report was talking about global companies losing billions. That's not just South Africa, but keeping it on the red list penalizes South Africa unfairly for a situation that doesn't exist. So with a good result tomorrow, we'll start seeing South Africa another run on the ladder of improving its economic situation.
Now, as you know, in July, there was another dark cloud that hovered around this country, particularly in KZN and Gauteng. Now, just talking about investors and investments, do investors, international investors, see Durban and South Africa as an attractive investment destination after those riots that basically plagued the country?
I think that was a fright to a lot of people. I think more so to people in the country, more so to individuals and families in the country. I think from outside, because it actually, however much we said it was not contained, and it wasn't contained well, it wasn't managed well, it stopped. Nothing has happened since then. And I think that has been a saving grace in the minds of most business people who don't look at a week in a life and say that is a forever. So for the grace of God, we've been lucky that they are containing situations, or the situation is behaving itself competently. There will always be the alert, the backdoor, the cautiousness. You'll probably find people won't invest first. They will work in a bilateral relationship before they might invest, for example. So I think there will be caution. But then I have to say, from our advisory board members of the Chamber who are involved in large businesses, three particularly large KwaZulu-Natal businesses, and they've actually, through their international partners, have actually gone for increased investment into KwaZulu-Natal. So there are others that are saying the only way out of this is through investment and job creation. So there is a very positive stance occurring from people that are already, or businesses that are already in the country, and particularly in KZN. So we are seeing actually an increased investment from, I know of 3 very large organizations alone. And that is a good sign, because that is positive for any other businesses that are considering coming in from the US and from the UK and from Europe, if they see their compatriots showing an increased investment.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much.
And that is since July.
Thank you so much for your time, Sharon, and we really do appreciate that analysis. Thank you so much. That was Sharon Constantin from she's the chairman of the South African Chamber of Commerce in the UK, obviously elaborating further on the expected news of South Africa being removed on that red list. We're expecting those news to come in tomorrow.